What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly update. Hope everybody's having a lovely week. And with that being said, let's get into the charts. Before we begin, I ask that you leave a like if you are finding any sort of value or entertainment in this video. I would appreciate it, and it would help the YouTube algorithm push this video out to more people, which means we can reach more people. All right, so let's begin. The first thing I'm going to start off here is the weekly charts. I'm going to point out volume was lackluster. That doesn't tell us anything. What we do have is the weekly bearish Miami candlesticks on SPY and QQQ. So let's just run through the past occurrences on this. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, so what I'm going to point out here is 10 out of 11 occurrences have led to either downside or consolidation over the coming weeks. The only exception was this bad boy right here. I'm going to get rid of all of that, and we're going to jump on over to QQ and point out the same thing. So we also have this weekly bearish Miami candlestick formation right here. Let's just go over what led, what we got on the last one. So this actually, we do have this one. So there we go. We have 1, we have 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. 5. We have 6 right here. We have 7, 8. That's the exception though. 8, 9. We have any more? I think we had one at the top. 10 up here and 11. All right, so we have 11 over here, and 9 out of 11 occurrences are leading to either consolidation or downside over the coming week. So that is what I'm looking for. I am going to be paying more attention to SPY, considering QQ has done this and, has not came down yet. So I think the more rational ticker that we should be looking at is SPY. Now, with that being said, we are going to come over to the daily time frame. So I am going to point out we did have this bullish engulfing candlestick. This thing did get invalidated. And what Friday's price action did show us is that this was one big bull trap right there. Now, we did have a bullish setup going into the close that day over on SPX. But then I guess China markets tanked our markets, and that is why everything gapped down. And then we had the price action we saw. I will point out you did close out the you closed out Friday over here with this increasing buy volume that typically suggests, buyers are going to be getting their way. We're going to come over here to QQ, and I'm going to point out you do have this bearish Miami candlestick formation right here. You did close out with a doji, and you did do so with a increasing buy volume there. The last time you saw this setup was right over here. You had this doji, you had the increasing buy volume, so even though it was a down day, buyers were loading up for the next day. And typically when we do see increasing buy volume, we'll see buyers get their way with either a gap up or a move over the previous day's high. It doesn't always have to happen, but it is just the condition that I've been paying attention to throughout this bear market. Now moving on over here to Mr. VIX. I'm going to point out you do have this bullish Miami candlestick formation right here. And I want to point out that all of the previous little runs, big or small here, going all the way back to here, were started with this, with the bullish Miami candlestick formation. We have one right here. We do have one right here that did end up failing, but I'm going to point out all of these runs. So we have the potential here. All right, you have 2 right there. You had, okay, that little run didn't get marked, but you had 3. You had 4. You had over here 5. You had this consolidation slash. I mean, you kind of moved up. You have this, you had a little spike right there. So you have, I think that's 7 occurrences right there. And we have that right now. So I'm not saying anything's going to come out of this. We are going to be discussing what I'm looking at on SPY next. But yeah, I mean, it's on the table. And we do know if we just click on, just come over here, click on that. We do know we have this bullish divergence going on the daily time frame. And if I put a trend line here, all right, or 2 trend lines, all right, we can see that VIX is falling in a wedge-like fashion. So I'm not saying this thing is going to spike, but we can also come over here to the weekly time frame, and I will put a line right there as well. And we can see, guys, we have not been down to this level since all the way back here in 09. And this was after the big VIX spike. So we didn't get any big VIX spikes. So whether VIX be broken or not, or it's just zero DTEs doing this, I have absolutely no idea. Or everyone's just really just extremely bullish. No idea, but that is something to keep in mind. Now, speaking of being extremely bullish, we're going to take it over here to the Fear and Greed Index. I'm going to point out this is the first time in quite some time that we are not in the extreme greed territory. Now, we're going to come over here to this timeline, and I'm going to point out, guys, you don't spend a lot of time up here, and this typically does mark your tops. We spent, I think it's about 2 weeks we spent up here. Now we're going to go down. I'm going to point out that you have over here on the put to call ratio right here, guys. This is the lowest reading we have had in a year. That does show that, yeah, short dated options. 5-day average put to call ratio. All right. But yeah, short dated options are definitely the most bullish they've been in 12 months. So that does go along with what we were just looking at over there on the Fear and Greed Index up here. And now I'm going to bring you over to the AAII Investor Sentiment Survey. I'm going to point out, guys, we did end up getting another bullish reading right here. No, it's not a new high, but I am going to point out that we literally, this is the most bearish. And then we had this. This is the 1 year high. This is the 1 year low. All right. Well, 1 year bearish high and then 1 year bullish high. The 1 year bullish high was literally last week. So, I'm just saying it's very clear that a lot of people are bullish on this market. I'm not saying this thing's going to tank. Don't take it as that. All right. This thing it can stay irrational longer than you could stay solvent. And that's just, that's why we got to keep an open mind in this market. It's kind of crazy, guys. All right. It's kind of crazy, but I just thought I'd bring that up. We do have another bullish reading going on over there, which does mean, hey, if this thing does decide to tank, there you go. It's probably going to catch a lot of people off guard. But I'm going to point out here what I am watching for. So I'm going to point out here, we do have the 4-hour RSI over here approaching oversold territory. Now, the last few times we did have this happen, so like we got that going on right here, but you had that going on 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, over here on 5. So in this case, you did end up forming this bullish divergence, and then you went down from you look like you went down, 5 to 10 more bucks there, forming that bullish divergence, and then you got like a $20 move right there. Over here, all right, let me just bring that down real quick. All right, over here, you did not go too much further down. Let me just see if I could see that real quick. Sorry, I'm testing out this new drawing tool, guys. We will be using this thing, and I'm sure I will get the hang of it. All right, right here, you did bottom out here when your RSI did come down into oversold territory right here at 385, and then you hit a low of just about 381, and that put in a bullish divergence right there. And then you were off the races. All right. So what I'm pointing out here is, all the way since then, and that was when we had this, short-term downtrend going on. That's when the banking fiasco was going on, and everyone down here, I think this is March 13. Yep. That is when everyone thought the market was going to crash. We come over to VIX, and I could show you that is also when we had this massive spike here. And again, hey, everyone thought the market was going to crash. Your boy was pointing out, hey, all right, unless we actually are crashing, and this is about to be, COVID 2020, 08.com, anything of the sort, the VIX is probably going, well, not probably, it was, unless that condition was going to happen, unless we're crashing, this thing was going to start stalling out. It's just something we could put this line up here. All right, you see what I'm talking about? You hit there, that was your peak. All right, you hit here, that was your peak. You hit up here, that was your peak. You went up like a few more days, but yeah, I mean, the market wasn't crashing. Over here, peak, over here, peak. But yeah, all right. So that was like peak fear, and that was going on. And we still ended up having a sick, nasty bounce. Now, we don't have peak fear. I'm not saying like, hey, we had fear. All right. It was in the dealer's incentive over here to squeeze the shorts over there. Over here, yeah, it's in the dealer's incentive to, squeeze the longs to the downside here. What, has that been happening? No, Max Payne has literally been so much lower on QQQ for quite some time now, all right? I think it was like $20 to $30 lower than where it is right now. So I'm just saying, guys, dealers are not in control. Big money is squeezing the living crap out of this thing. That is what I see going on here, all right? But I am going to point out, guys, this thing is, getting into, it's not at oversold territory yet, but it could be going down into oversold territory by the time you come up or down here into this August high August 2022 high demand zone. All right. So, like, you know, we're only $2 above that right now. If you come all the way down to 430, then I assume, yeah, buyers are probably going to hold the line. If they don't hold the line, that is when you are, you know, you open yourself up to coming all the way back down here at 426. And that is when the trend change is on the table. Bulls want to defend here. They don't want it to come down here, which is why I do think, yeah, people are probably going to buy this dip. On top of that, I am going to point out, hey, guys, all right, people have been getting conditioned to buy the dips. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know, all right? But, like, it's probably going to take, like, a lot here to bring some fear. So we're probably going to have to see a pretty drastic move down here to really see this bullish sentiment start to change and people to stop just loading up on these dips. So that is something I want to point out. But yeah, the next thing I do want to point out is this. We can come over here and we could put this on. Oh, I didn't know I had it off log scale. We are going to change the session here. This is something I was tinkering with the other day. I'm going to put this on. Well, not the other day. I was tinkering with it last night. All right. Regular hours right here. Then I also want to bring up this. So I've been tinkering around with fibs and regular hours recently. So just know that I will be throwing them in when I see important things on the chart. You can expect that in my analysis. All right. That is not actually, this is not the fib I was thinking of. All right. The fib I was thinking of is over here. This is what I pointed out in the Weeble update. If you guys don't already follow along with those Weeble updates, just know I will be uploading the weekly update to Substack every single week. So the link will be down in the description if you want to go check that out. Strongly suggest you do. If you enjoy these, you'll definitely enjoy that. All right, so I do want to point out, yes, you're in this falling wedge here. You have this going on down here. You have this. Let me just bring that up right there. All right. So yeah, guys, you have quadruple bullish divergence going on the 30-minute time frame over here, and this is on regular hours. If you had it on extended hours, then that would be on the hourly time frame. You would have the quadruple bullish divergence going on right there as well. But regardless, this whole run here, that is what this fib is covering, and you are down here just about at the golden pocket, all right? You're at the 0.618 fib. That's where you're getting your buyers stepping in. And guess what? If you come down here, guys, what aligns with the bottom of this August high demand zone? It's going to be the bottom of the golden pocket, the 0.786 fib. So regardless or not, of if you do end up breaking up from this pattern or down from this pattern, I do think buyers are very likely to step in for at least a lower high here. I'm not saying not saying it's going to be a lower high. I'm not going to throw out any projections here. I'm just showing you what I'm watching. And I'm just saying, to me, in my personal opinion, this is a relatively bullish setup. And I'm sure a lot of people are probably going to come down here and jump the gun short. Well, like I said, people are probably also going to be buying the dip. So we got a bit of a mixed bag going on. But I thought I would point this out. You are in the perfect spot for a bounce. So I wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, maybe you go a little lower and then you get bought up there, or you just break out to the upside. Now, if we do end up putting on the extended hours, you will see that, yeah, guys, I mean, we're still in the wedge. But, you know, guys, we did end up taking a little bit of a dive over there. I am going to actually point out over here, IWM. All right, you are in a descending channel right here. So if you are looking to go long on IWM, you are going to want to see a breakout from this, and maybe you get something like this. All right, you're going to want to see that flip, and then you're going to want to see a 15-minute close over this resistance right here. And where is that from? It's being taken from over there. All right, so you want to see some close over there. If not, guys, IWM is in a downtrend, so that is something I want to point out. But SPY, guys, it is still in an uptrend. That is something that is going on, and until you come down here and break 426, which I think is 425.99, is the low of this candlestick. Yeah. Until you break that, guys, you are going to be in an uptrend, and the only way you get down there is if you get a daily close underneath 430. So that is what you were looking for as your sign of weakness. If you don't get it, hey, you know, there we go. We're still going to be in this uptrend, and we're going to have to wait until things change. All right, so the next thing I am going to be pointing out is over here on Bitcoin. All right, guys, Bitcoin is going relatively crazy, and I want to point this out real quick. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but this is something I noticed this morning, and it's quite crazy. It is literally, you know, it's like very, very similar. I can't deny this one. All right, guys. So you see this back test right here. What is that we got right there? All right. It's It's the back test. It's the same exact thing, all right? So let me just move this around real quick. All right, let's take off. You know what? Actually, let's leave the RSI on. I want to point something out as well over here, all right? Guys, look at what happened over here. So, I mean, aside from price, I mean, just look at our RSI. Price is doing the same exact thing. You came up, consolidated, came up again over this trend line, all right? And then you flipped this trend line, and then you broke this high, all right? You came up, went flat, consolidated, broke the trend line, back test the trend line, came up, and you are right here at this high. So we're gonna have to wait for a let's go over the daily time frame real quick and just see if we did get this daily close over that trend line. I'm not sure if we did. No, we did not. We got rejection. So you are going to be wanting a close over that if you want to see this picture perfect picture, you know, really come to life here. But it's definitely something I wanted to bring up here. You can also see on the RSI, we do have, all right, you went up. It's obviously it's just fallen price, but I want to point out how just similar what we got going on right here is to over there, right? You went up, consolidated, came up to overbought territory, came down to about 50. Boom, you went up. And when you were in overbought territory, that's where, you know, you went on that run. All right. And yeah, when you broke here, you were you know, you were right about here. All right, what happened over here? He came up, consolidated, went up to overbought territory, got rejected, came down to about 50, maybe 55, and then, yeah, we're doing this, guys. So, I'm just saying, all right, it's looking extremely similar. I'm not saying at all that is about to be what goes down. I am not saying that at all. I'm going to be very clear about this. I've been clear about it in my previous videos, and for a while now, guys, we don't have the conditions behind the scenes for a new bull market, for a new bull run. You know, it's 100% based off quantitative easing, and right now, I don't think they can physically bring that into the system without it causing a crap ton of inflation. That's clearly what Jerome is, you know, trying to do here, and I don't think he's just going to jeopardize everything because the stock market, people want the stock market to go up. No, I think it's more likely that, you know, you either trade flat or down. Why? Because you only break your highs when there is more money than last time in the system. That's that. You're never going to break a high over here on the indices here without, you know, more money behind the scenes pumping into the markets. And, you know, I'm just saying, if this was peak euphoria over here and this is, you know, this was, you know, the top of our money supply, guess what? How are you going to break that without, you know, an increased money supply? You just don't. All right, you just don't. You need the Federal Reserve's balance sheet to reach a new high, and right now, I don't believe that's happening. So, unless it does change, unless conditions behind the scene do change, then I gotta say, yeah, we're probably not going to, you know, see a new bull run happen. But I am completely open-minded here to a decent Bitcoin run, guys. If you know, if this thing breaks, let me just point out the levels here, what you're going to be looking for, all right? You get a weekly close over here. If you get even a daily close, all right? Even a daily close, I'm going to say right here, 34K is on the table. Obviously, 32.3K right here. That's going to be the next resistance, but, you know, the next big one is really going to be what I drew out here on the weekly time frame right here, about 34.3K. And then the next one after that, guys, is going to be all the way up here. And that is at 37, just about 37.5K. You're going to really start, you know, that's, you know, 37.6K right there. That's a ways away. Let's just measure that out from this breakout to there. That's a 20% run. Now, I'm going to remind you guys what I reminded you earlier this week. All right, you have Riot looking pretty sexy right here. And Riot has not squeezed nearly as much as Mara. But regardless, Mara is right at the top here. So if we do see some bullish action this weekend on Bitcoin or the early, you know, start of next week, because buyers are stepping in across the board, maybe they step in on SPY over there. I don't know. All right. But if they do, and you guys, you definitely have this increasing volume going on here. All right. This is on Mara and Riot, but let's just look at what's taking place over on Bitcoin, guys. You have buyers backing this move. It's something I also want to point out here. You have that going on right there. All right, buyers have been backing the moves. And typically when you do see this increasing buy volume, it is not the end of the run. The exception was over here, but you know what? Hey, maybe people were just accumulating. I got absolutely no idea. Regardless, I want to see price moving up with volume backing that move. And that is exactly what happened over here. That's exactly what happened over here. And yeah, All right, guys, let's just take it all the way back over here to what we were talking about. Do we have any similarities here? Do we? Oh, look at that. Let's just put a thing right there, eh? Let's put that. What happened on this day? Do you guys see, again, another similarity I just pointed out? All right, guys. Again, on these moves, you see how seller volume picked up here on this move down? Guess what? It's being supported, but look at that. You broke out, or you at least you test the resistance. You did break out over here, but over there, we're testing resistance with the increasing buy volume. I'm just saying, guys, buyers are back in this move. All right, that is what's going on. I don't want to make anyone uber bullish here. I don't want anyone to become a perma bull because of me. Please do not let me convince you to do so, because I'm not doing so. All right, but you know, it's definitely something to keep an open mind on, and we definitely do have some room over here to run on the weekly RSI. Now, I will note, until this, you know, until we do see the weekly RSI come and break this, we're going to have a bearish divergence. So if you reach this and it's lower, hey, guys, we're going to have to start, you know, being cautious there. And, you know, if you want to look for sell opportunities, you can look for sell opportunities. I'm going to be pointing them out as we go. And, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Everyone have a lovely rest of their weekend. You know, I'll remind you guys, the link is down in the description for my Substack. You guys can check that out. I will be uploading the weekly update there from now on. And yeah, that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.